My name is Samuel Keller. I was born in the summer of 1952 in Trottsville, Nebraska, a small town where the only grocery store stood across from the church. And life moved slowly, like thick honey dripping from a spoon. In places like this, time seemed frozen, holding people to the land they were born on. Our house sat on the edge of a farm, surrounded by endless fields of corn. At night, if the wind blew from the south, you could hear the stalks whispering, speaking to each other in a language only they understood. Sometimes I thought they were telling stories of a life I would never know if I stayed here. My father, George Keller, was a man of the land. His hands were rough, tanned, with permanent cracks from working in the fields. He knew no life outside of one that began with the first rays of the sun and ended when his body could no longer move. He didn't say much, but his gaze could tell you more than words ever could. My mother, Evelyn, was softer. As a child, I would sit with her on the porch, watching the sun sink into the ocean of cornfields. She told stories of her youth, of dreams of moving to the city, opening a bakery. But she met my father, fell in love, and her dreams faded into the background. I had two older brothers, Peter and Tom. They were everything a man in Trottsville was supposed to be: strong, hardworking, always ready to get their hands dirty. Peter, the eldest, was the serious one. He had known since childhood that he would take over the farm one day. Tom was more carefree, quick to joke, sometimes dreaming of leaving, but never seriously. I was different. While my brothers worked alongside my father, I would hide in the shade of the barn with a book in my hands. I loved to read stories of far-off cities, of people who shaped their own destinies instead of accepting them as fate. Books won't feed you, Sam, my father would say when he saw me reading. The cows won't milk themselves. I didn't argue. I just closed my book, stood up, and went to help. But inside, something resisted. When I was 16, a man from the University of Lincoln visited our school. He spoke about opportunities, about how anyone who wanted to learn could find a way. It was the first time I heard that I had a choice. My history teacher, Mr. Harrison, noticed my interest. "You could go, Sam," he told me one afternoon after class. "You have talent. You could be anything you want." For the first time, I felt like someone saw more in me than just a farmer. When I brought it up at home, my father only scoffed. "College," he said. "You think a degree will feed you better than this land." My mother tried to reason with him, but he wouldn't budge. "If he wants to leave, let him figure it out himself," he said.